Welcome back to Drinking by Myself. My name is Emma and today I'm going to talk about my 30 before 30 list. Now first things first, I'm not making a 30 before 30 list because I'm already nearly 29. I don't have time to do 30 things. I don't want to set myself a list of things I'm going to fail at, especially as like we might be in isolation for a lot of that time. So it's not like I can do stuff like travel to every continent in the world before I'm 30 because we might all be stuck in this room for the next like 18 months. Not to be a pessimist or anything, I'm sure we will all be back out very soon. But I did make a little list recently of just some things that I want to achieve before I'm 30. And I thought it'd be fun to like film myself now and then I can check back in on my 30th birthday and see how many of these things I've achieved. Some of them are ones that are out of my control, so I just have to hope. So I don't think I'll feel any pressure on myself, like sadness if I have or haven't done them. I hope. It's just like a fun list of things I think it'd be good to do at some point in the next year and a bit. So the first thing I've got on my list is a funny one. I really want to be a life drawing model at some point. You apparently can just volunteer to do this. I haven't looked up the process, but I will. Immediately after this video I will look up the process of how you get involved in this. But I think it'd be a fun one to do because it would be very scary. It would definitely involve like facing my fears. I'm sure I would feel very self-conscious just like posing naked in front of a group of people who are all staring intently at me so they can draw me. But I've just heard people who've done it say that it is really empowering. I think it would be a really empowering experience. And the people there, like, they're not there to judge you, they're there to practice their own art, and I think that's cool. Especially if anyone let me keep the picture. I would love to have that picture. Thing number 2 is I want to give blood again. I haven't done it in a long time and I really should. So I want to A, give blood again, but also just start giving blood more regularly. I've only done it once a few years ago and it was a slightly hard experience because I've got quite low blood pressure. So it did take quite a long while and they almost would just had to be like, there isn't enough coming out. But I did do it, I did get through it. And actually I found the experience fine. I'm really scared of needles and blood tests and all of that. But as long as I just looked away and like did not concentrate on what was happening, I found it fine. And I know a lot of people like faint afterwards. I felt fine afterwards. So considering it was a relatively easy experience for me other than just having to face my fears, it's definitely something that I should be doing more often. And then on that vein, thing number 3 is something that I've never done and really should have, and that is to volunteer at a food bank. So again, that's like an A, I want to do it on my 30 before 30 list, and B, I want to start doing it more regularly. I know a lot of people do it around Christmas time, which is really lovely, but also I've heard apparently like they have loads of volunteers at Christmas. It's the rest of the year round that they need people. So I think I would do mine not at Christmas and just try and do it on like a monthly basis throughout the year. Now my 4th thing is something I definitely will have to do some work at. So I've only like in the last year started going to the gym, but if you watch my vlogs you'll know I love going to the gym. I spend a lot of time there. I find it, it gives you endorphins. It makes me genuinely really happy. I'm kind of mourning not having access to the gym while I'm here in isolation, even though we are trying to do a lot of like home workouts and stuff as a family, which is really fun. But anyway, my aim by the time I'm 30, I would like to be able to do 1 pull-up, just 1, because at the moment I cannot do them at all. I've progressed over the last year from not being able to do anything at all to now like I can just hang from the pull-up bars without falling down, so that's good, and I can like do that and do knee raises and stuff. But I cannot pull myself up, not without using like the assisted thing. I can do it when you when you kneel on that little pad and like you take some of the weight off. I can do that and I'm like slowly reducing the weight that it's taking for me. So I am getting better, but I'm a long way off being able to do a pull-up hands-free. Not hands-free, you need your hands, but by myself, doing my own body weight. So yeah, that's my next thing on my list, is I just want to be able to do 1. And then of course there are going to be some bookish ones. So the big one, the one I am probably the least likely to achieve, but to write my damn book. I don't do writing. Like, this is such a kind of unrealistic dream for me. I don't write. I know all of my friends who are into writing, they really mean it and they really do it. Like they write in the mornings, they write on the weekends. I haven't done any creative writing for a really long time. I used to love it when I was younger, I used to love it at uni, and I just don't do it at all anymore. But I constantly have these book ideas that come into my head that I really want to write. Every now and then I write like a chapter, or I'll just like make tons of notes about it. So I think that would be a really good goal before I'm 30 to have written it, even just like have written the first bad draft that will then turn into something. Currently I am not on track at all to do that, so future Emma, if you're watching this, don't beat yourself up, it's fine, we're all doing our best. but I would love it if I had written a full draft of a book by the time I was 30. And then another bookish one, but on a tangent, I would love to get into the acknowledgements of another author's book. That is a real dream. I would love to just see my name there in the acknowledgements because I'd help them in some way. And again, I'm not quite sure how likely it is I will achieve this. I do work in publishing, but I mostly, if I interact with the authors, it's once the book is already like out in the world. I'm helping with promoting it, I'm helping it with being seen online. I don't have a role in the book that is likely to get you put in the acknowledgements, but again, one day, that is a dream. Something I had on my 30 before 30 list for a while was to start earning 30k before I was 30. I think that's like quite a common one people say. At the moment, considering like the world climate, I feel like pay rises are quite unlikely for people for quite some time. So I've decided to amend this one a little bit. I would like to get 30k before I'm 30, but whether that is salary or YouTube subscribers is open for interpretation. I mean, I might not hit either of those. I'm still quite a long way off, but that would be cool if I had 30k subscribers by the time I was 30. And then finally, one more very recent addition to the list that I really bloody hope happens. Before I'm 30, I would really like to see the inside of a pub again. So what do you guys think of making bucket lists? Is it something that you do? Do you have goals like that for a certain age? I usually tend to avoid it. I don't like having my life kind of planned out in 5-year plans and stuff because I don't like setting myself up to fail at things. But I've just been thinking about this a lot over the last few weeks, and I thought that was quite a fun list of some achievable ones that I could just go out and do, and some just like little things to dream for, and like not going to beat myself up if they don't happen, but just they're good things to have in the back of my mind that I'm aiming for. And I'd love to know what some of your guys' goals are as well that you're aiming for. So do give this video a thumbs up if you liked it, and hit that subscribe button below for new videos twice every week, and I will chat to you soon.